Now we'll come back to our process artifact. So under the process artifact, right? So when you create a process, so we will we can define this process by using these activities. So this is called as activity, we call it as, or we can call it as task. So we have a different type of task here. So based upon the user requirement, we need different type of task, right? So that is what the IBM has provided. So when you select this task or activity, at that time, these many tasks are available. So we have user task. So user task is nothing but, so example, we need a screens, right, to complete our operations. For example, we have operations where they will be validating the screen. So that is a user screen. So when you select as a user task, at that time you have to attach a user screen here. User screen is nothing but you have to attach either client side human service or heritage human service. So whenever user will run this task, at that time they will be able to see the screen. So that is what it is, a UI task. So where user will be working on this task. Your understanding?
Yes, sir. I'm understanding. Sorry, I'm on mute. Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then this user task can be assigned to an individual team or individual group or individual person, right? So you can define this user task can be assigned to a individual team. So how we will assign? So you have, it's common. So in general, uh, you can see what is the name. So we come like looping behavior later. So I'll explain like multi-instance looping and simple instance looping. So you are mentioning like one task can be executed multiple times. So how we can achieve that? So by using these option we'll achieve. But as of now, I will tell like this task to be executed only one time. So that is the reason it will be none. So in the implementation part, so you will be selecting like what type of task it is. So that's where like I selected user task. So user task, so which user task I need to run. So for that, I need to attach in the implementation, I need to attach what is the user task I need to be run. So I need to create the UIs now. I need to create the clients, either I need to create a client side human service or heritage human service I'll create and I'll assign it here. So let me like whenever I'm explaining you in UI part, right, at that time I'll create and I will attach it. So as of now, so for UI task to complete the UI task, we need a UI service to be attached here. So that is what you need to understand here. Okay. And
Okay.
along with that, the input and output mapping required. So you have to pass input variables and output variable. So whenever you are running this task, what data you need to take as input, and after the completion of the task, what data will come as output. So that variable mapping we'll do it by using this data mapping. Okay. And next one is assignment. In the assignment, I was mentioning like, to whom you need to assign it. So whether you need to assign to a team or whether you need to assign to an individual group or you need to assign this task to a particular user. So how you will do that? By using this assignment tab, you will do it. So we'll cover complete assignment part when we are developing it, right? So at that time, but you how you'll do the assignment by using this assignment tab, we'll be doing it. That is what you need to understand as of now. So pre and post. So before this task execution, so I need to assign some values. So example, before screen is this task is generating. So I need to write some script. So script is nothing but some value I need to update, some true or false I need to set, or I need to assign some value one or two. Any data I need to assign, right? So that you can use by using this assignment. So here you can write a variable and equal like what value you need to assign it. So and post also like post completion of this task you need to assign some value. So that you can do by using this pre-post. And you have a tracking. So like when the task is generated, at that time you need to track the data. So why you need to track the data? So reporting purpose. So before task is created, this is the data was there, and post the completion of the task, this is the data is there. So that data will be used for generating a reports. So those to track that, you have to attach your tracking groups. and that data will be stored in the performance warehouse database, and you use that data to generate the reports. Okay. And next one, condition. So you want to execute this task based upon the condition. So example I have, like when the customer create the request, at that time only you receive the we have to generate this task, otherwise keep this task to operation. So such condition you want to write, right? So that how you'll write it. So you will click on the condition and you will write the condition. Those condition become true, then only the task will be get generated. Otherwise, it will be skipped and it will go to operation. You're understanding, right? So the
Yes, sir.
condition based execution. So you will be writing where you'll be writing that conditions here in the script. You'll be writing it. Okay. So I'll show you that as well. But first we'll cover like how many tasks are there, um, and so how those tasks will be used. So what is the purpose of those tasks? We'll understand first. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, just two questions I have. Okay. Uh, the user, when you were explaining about the assignments, right? You
Mhm.
mentioned that it can be assigned to individual team, individual group, and particular user. Okay. So what's the difference between the team and group? I thought they are both same.
Both are different actually. So teams
Okay.
are yeah,
Team,
no
I
problem,
understood.
because
Yeah, sorry.
because we have a team artifact, right? So I'll be explaining
Yes,
during that.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
let's don't divert that. So we'll finish
Okay,
this part
okay,
first. Okay, I'll
okay,
be
okay, sir.
explaining. So
Okay.
so first one user task, which is mainly used for it's for UI screens. So where
Uh,
user can run this task, right? So next
uh,
one, inline user task we have. This inline user task, what it is there, we are not going to attach anything. So it is IBM has provided the UI screens. So
mm.
what it contains, it is a by default screen which will contain the instance detail and task details. That is what it contains. Okay, you're understanding, right? So whatever we are run just now, example, if I go and run here, so this is a by default UI. So it contains only the task data, input and output variable, and task detail. So what is the task ID and what is the task update? All these detail it will be there. So why this screen is required? So this is actually when you are whenever you don't have UIs, right? At that time, you need some screen to be there, right? So whenever you are creating a process, at that time you don't have any real time screens at that time. So just IBM has provided like testing purpose, whether the task is executing or not. So for that purpose they provided inline UI screen. So where whenever you run, the task will get created, it will be inline user task, you can run and you can see the instance detail. It just while you are designing a flow, at that time you won't be having UI screen, anything you don't have. So that time you can use that inline user task uh, to be attached to this activity. Then you can see like what is the where is the flow is going on. All this process design you can complete it. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. The next one, RPA task. So it's a robotic task we call it as. So example, your flow involves the RPA task. So in that case, you can attach this RPA task. So RPA task you can use and you can generate the board. So how this will work, right? So whenever the token or task is received here, the RPA task will be triggered, and RPA task by backend there will be RPA activity will be executed. Once the RPA activity is everything completed, then this task will be closed and it will move to next token. So so RPA is nothing but example we have scenario like uh, the board has to go to next some application, it has to log in and it has to get some detail. So in that case, we'll be using this RPA task. When the RPA token will be get created, at that time that bot will be triggered. Then bot internally it will call the internal application, and it will get the detail, and that will map to the process. So That is the purpose of RPA task, but in higher version it will be removed now. So now it is a agentic task. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It
Till
is clear.
20, till 24 to 24 version it is there, RPA task it is there. From 25th version, so they removed this RPA task and they introduced a new task which is agentic task. Okay, that is what I wanted to say.
Okay.
So
Okay.
next one, system task. So system task is nothing but it's the task which will be executed by system. So example, you have a database task, right? So you want to go and hit the database and get the detail, or you want to call the APIs and you want to get the detail. So in that case, where those tasks will be executed, right? So those all tasks will comes under system. System automatically will execute and it will bring the data, and that data will be mapped to the process. So such tasks we can use a system task. Okay, clear?
Yeah, it is clear.
So I'll explain you. I'll create some system task and I'll show you. Okay. The next one, decision task. So the decision task is nothing but it contains uh, conditions. So you can create a decision task. Inside that there will be if else condition will be there. So you can write all if else conditions. So when the task is received here, so I'll tell the system like example I have. Okay, if customer is submitted the application, then you redirect this particular task to operations. So if customer is not submitted application, then directly assign this task to manager. So those conditions you can write inside the inside this decision task. So example, you have huge number of tasks. Sorry, huge number of conditions. So example, you have 100 conditions. 100 conditions you can club together and you can create one decision task. And inside the decision task, you can maintain everything. So that is the purpose. Okay. But if simple if else condition are there, then you can use a scripted task. Only one or two conditions are there. Then you can use instead of like creating decision task. So you can use this script task and you can use it. So you are understanding. So what is the difference? So you have huge number of business rules. Those need to be evaluated. So you will be creating some decision task. That's where you will writing all the business conditions, and when this task is executed, at the time all the business rule will be evaluated, and based upon that our flow will flow through. But only simple if else condition is there, then we have this script task. Task is nothing but just it's a simple script. You can write your all logic, like a small piece of code you can write before like those small if else condition will execute, and based upon that the flow will navigate. Your understanding?
Yes, sir.